So today's lesson, so today is Wednesday, May 17th. I'm going to share my, well, I'm not going to share my screen. I'm going to read you guys a story today. So today's Erin's Law lesson is called Can't Go Home. And this lesson's topic is about physical abuse, like hitting. Unfortunately, kids who experience physical abuse are often too scared or embarrassed to talk about it. Our goal is to bring abuse out into the open and make sure all kids know that it's not your fault if it happens to you and you can talk about it. If someone hurts you at school or at home, telling a safe adult is the only way to make it stop. There are lots of adults in your life who want to be safe and help you get out of any unsafe situation, and there are many different ways to ask for help. So I'm going to read you a story, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it. So Taylor is a 10-year-old kid, and I'm going to read, this is called Can't Go Home. Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm going to tell you about what used to happen at my house. I never really like to talk about it, but some of you might have the same story. Maybe there are other kids who don't like going home after school. I could always hear my mom and dad from outside. They'd fight about money, bills, work, and everything else. I know things are hard, so I always try to stay out of their way. But it's easy for them to find something to get angry about, like a messy room. Some parents don't know how to hold back, and kids like me are scared that if we mess up, we'll get hit hard. No one should get hurt at home, and you can't keep it to yourself if it happens. I love my dad, and it doesn't matter who it is. If someone hurts you, it has to stop. I needed help. They say teachers and counselors at school are people you can talk to, and it was true. I went to the school counselor or emailed the school counselor, and she knew what to do. She said someone would come by to help us, and it felt really good to tell someone. Things got better after that. My parents got help, and I was never hit again. Then the school counselor says, "Thank you, Taylor. It can be hard to understand if someone you love acts violently, but you have to keep yourself safe if they do, and sometimes your parents are also hurting each other. Adults with bad tempers might not always be able to tell the difference between what's safe punishment and abuse. Remember, abuse includes hitting, throwing things, and verbal attacks. If someone in your home does this, it doesn't matter who it is, you must tell. Talk to other adults like teachers and counselors. They want to help. No one has the right to hurt you. If you think you've been abused, remember the protect yourself rules to know when to ask for help and how to stay safe." Lots of parents fight. It's an unfortunate part of life we have little control over. Kids have to understand that even though your parent might tell you that it's your fault that they're fighting, it isn't your fault. It's never your fault. Taylor's dad hit him because Taylor's dad had a problem with anger, not because Taylor had done anything wrong. Who can we go to if we think our parents or caregivers behave in a dangerous way? Well, if one of your parents, if you feel like you trust one of your parents to help, you could go to one of your parents, grandparent, aunt or uncle, a neighbor. You can go to a teacher. You can go to a counselor. All kids should feel safe at home, but it isn't always the case. In fact, statistically, most of the time there's abuse, like hitting, it's coming from home. If someone at home does hurt us, who are some other safe adults we can go to? Has anyone ever had to do something they didn't want to do but knew was good for them? Taylor didn't want to talk about what happened to him at home because he didn't want his dad to get in trouble. This is a protect yourself rule. It doesn't matter who it is. If someone hurts you, you have to tell a safe adult, no matter what, if you want it to stop. What if someone hurts us at school, on a sports team, or somewhere else? And in the last few years, a lot of data is coming out about sports teams. Because sports teams are competitive, the coaches have a lot of control over kids, and they say, if you tell anyone, I'm going to kick you off the team or not let you play. So kids want to play, so they're quiet about it. And there's been a lot of abuse on sports teams. Hurting someone is abuse no matter where it happens. So in that case, if that's happening, you've got to find a safe adult to tell. Everyone should know this. If someone threatens us and we think we are in real danger right then, what number do we call for help? You guys know that? What's the big emergency help number?
911.
911. That's right. You need to know that number, 911, my friends. If you ever feel like you are in danger right then, you need to call 911. And think about this. What are reasons a child might feel like they keep abuse a secret? Maybe you're worried that it will get you taken away from your parents, or that it'll cause your parents to get a divorce, or that people will find out that you've been bad or something. Maybe someone's told you you've been bad. Most of those are not true. If your parents are not getting along, that's going to happen no matter what you do. It's really not your fault at all. And getting the abuse to stop is more important anyway. And you've got to keep yourself safe and learn to take care of yourself. So that is it for this lesson. We have some scenarios where we're thinking about whether you would tell someone or handle it yourself. So you don't have to put anything in chat, but you can if you want to. Here are some scenarios to think about. Think about whether you would tell an adult or like walk away. Let's say you get in an argument with another student at school. The argument gets worse and they push you one time. Do you need to tell an adult, or do you think you can walk away from that one? You can put it in chat or not. Okay. Okay. A grandparent has a habit of cursing. And I had a student once who was really upset because their grandparents said really mean things. Is saying really mean things, verbal things that tell you you're no good and you're bad, is that abuse? Yeah. So verbal abuse is abuse. If someone's telling you things that are putting you down and making you feel not smart or not good or to blame, that is not okay. That needs to stop. You should find an adult you trust to talk to them about it. Maybe your parents don't know. I know that in my family, there was a situation where a grandparent was babysitting for a relative of mine, and he was being abusive. And the child told, and it stopped right away. That grandparent never babysat again. A parent or caregiver sometimes goes too far when they punish you, even hitting you. You got a bad grade on a school assignment. You're afraid you're going to get hurt if they find out, or they're telling you that you're not doing things right. An older sibling attacks you physically. Okay, so I had an older brother who punched me all the time. Back in those days, my parents really didn't take it seriously, and it probably should have stopped. I was scared of him. I thought he was going to kill me. I don't think he was, but and we get along okay now. But it would have been really nice to have my parents stop him. They didn't. They were like, oh, kids will be kids. And this is becoming more and more of an issue. But what about if something happens online? A student or a group of students or another person makes some sort of offensive post or starts rumors about you online. Is that okay? Or do you need to tell an adult? Guys, you need to tell an adult. They're saying now 1 in 3 teenage girls over the age of 13 has contemplated or thought about suicide. Because of social media, it's gotten so mean and nasty that you should not be on there. Get off of social media. It's terrible for you. Social media is not reality, my friends. It shows life as like perfect and peachy. It has a lot of mean stuff going on. Protect yourself by getting off of social media. And please don't ever spread rumors on the internet. But if you find them there, show your parents, especially if your name is in there or any personal information. And you know never to share that. Okay. All right, you guys, I hope that that is helpful, knowing that it is not your fault, that you should get some help. If you ever don't feel safe at home, you should find somewhere else you can go. You could go to Flex, you could go to the police, you could go to a neighbor, whoever you trust, a relative, but you need to be safe. If anyone has any personal things they want to send me in the chat, you can. If anyone would like to talk to our counselor, just send me a note saying I'd like to talk to the counselor, and I will have her contact you privately. You can send that privately in the chat. I will see my testers at 10 o'clock today. Let me give you that code one more time, because believe it or not, people keep asking me for the code right before the test. So here's that PT test. Oops, that wasn't it. Never mind, that wasn't it. Let me go back and find it. I don't know why it is not copying correctly. And unless you have a question, you guys can log off now and work on your work.